would you describe me as fair?
100%. And, you know, I think both of us have that fairness in going, I'll give you, I complete you. But we're also very firm going, no, you don't cross the line. Like, we're not someone who's passive and just tolerate shit.
Well, I can be.
Well, come
I
on,
know
everyone
I
can be. But I mean,
yeah.
like, on average, like, we're fair and we'll look at it from every angle, give people a few goals. It's not like, but once you cross the line and we know, once you're on that side of the fence and we know there's no coming back, it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I suppose, a better way of looking at it. And I see that in you and I see it in me. And, you know, I know of to and fro a few times in situations where we get, nah, we're probably done here. You know what I mean? There's a few, we're getting a bigger picture. And I think that's because you can have that fairness view of going, I understand their point, even that we might not necessarily agree with it, right? And I think, you know, COVID learned this for me. At first was like, whoa, I was combative, wasn't I? But in the end, I was like, no, your side of the story. In fact, I'll also consider mine. That gives me a bigger picture to make a more informed decision. And I think that's a good outlook on life, right? That you've seen it from management, you've seen it from being on the shop floor, you've seen it the way customers treat people, and it gives you a fair understanding of going, you've probably seen people perform, going back to your school point where you're like, oh, someone just needs a bit of encouragement, speak to me with a bit of respect. No, I'll appreciate that you're in a sticky situation, but you can't take it out on me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and all this, and I think that well-rounded awareness, so to say, that is mastery, mate. People who have that level of awareness will live a good quality of life. Do you know what I mean? We'll be less vulnerable to playing the victim and feel like they're entitled. That's the opposite end of the spectrum.
Well, if you look at health as long lifespan or health span, one of the key markers is your ability to have good relationships, quality relationships. You're not going to have many quality relationships if you're always treating people like shit, yeah.
Well, you know, my big thing is if you treat yourself like shit, you know, there's a lot of people that we deal with that have, you know, struggle with relationships, and I'm like, well, the one that's broken really is the one with yourself.
Yeah, true.
You don't love yourself. And you hear this a lot, don't you? Like, people don't respect me. Yeah, but you don't respect yourself. Someone treats me like shit. No, you understand that, but you're treating yourself like shit. And before you can address that, it's an inside job where you've got to make sure that's solid with yourself. We talk about this a lot. Like, the most important relationship to have healthy, nurture and nourish is the one with yourself.
Yeah. And also the thing is, when we treat ourselves like shit, we tolerate that level of shit.
100%.
When your view of yourself, when you have no time for yourself, don't respect yourself.
Yeah.
When you're treating yourself poorly, you allow others to do the same because it's what you think. But when you raise your own personal standards, it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, people are still treating you like that. And you're like, no. Yeah. That gap is like, no.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm worth more than this, pal.
Yeah.
You don't talk to me like that, or you don't treat me that way.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, you've raised your personal standards.
And I think that's really been the injection for you of why you've got that fairness, because that's what I mean. Like, you won't, from a level of tolerance, it's like, you know what is over the line. But because you've got that well-rounded approach of going from coaching, from listening, to be treated from all different angles, that it's probably held you in good stead.